Hello, this is a timeless channeled message meant to find you whenever it finds you. So the tarot cards we have for this reading are Nine of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay. So I'm getting this analogy of needing to harvest something. So it looks like, okay, so it's not a literal fruit, but this could be a piece of knowledge, something that you're cultivating. It looks like you're waiting to see what the cutoff point is. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say that you're writing a book and you're trying to figure out, have I done enough? Is this good enough? Does it have all the information that I need? Should I add more? Should I take away from this? It feels like you're in that kind of questioning phase at this time. Or if this is like a different type of art form, let's say an abstract painting, you're like most of the way there and you're looking at it and you're like, is this need something else? Is there more detail that needs to be added? For the most part, whatever it is that you're working on, it looks like it's done or it's ready. With the Page of Swords that come afterwards though, this to me is like you're trying to figure out what to cut out or what to cut off, or like I want to say end something, but it's not even like you're finishing it. Sorry, it's end in the sense that it's not like gone forever. End as in you're reaching a completion of something. There we go. That's better. It's interesting because it feels like it exists in the material world, but it also exists in the mental space. Specifically, like, it does feel like an art form or just something that you've been cultivating in real life. Art, a business plan, like what have you. And it's up to you to right now to say, is this good enough? Is it done? I especially see this with the Lovers. So yes, it can be interpreted as a literal lover pair, but I actually see it in its more traditional meaning of being a choice. Specifically, it's like you're choosing now if it is good enough to be out there or to be ready. And I guess it really is up to you. It's up to your free will at this point. And technically there are no wrong answers regarding this. But I will pull some cards to clarify what each of these cards mean. But before I say that, I feel compelled to speak to you, human to human. Regarding our art or our plans, we can plan all we want, we can question things all we want. Is it ready? Is it not ready? But generally speaking, good enough is good enough. And the fact that it exists is more important than if you think it's ready or even if you personally are ready. It's okay to release the rough draft of something, because generally you can improve upon whatever it is you release over and over again. Like, take for example, the concept of that book. If you are a writer making a book, you may be obsessing over like the edition and being like, everything needs to look good, everything needs to look perfect. But realistically speaking, books have like reprints or editions that come later, like second or third editions, revisions that line up to be more modern or up to that writer's taste. Or even the concept of releasing a rough draft. It's okay to have peers look at your earlier work to help you revise it or to help you figure out what you want to do personally. But once again, All of this is supposed to empower you to become or to come to a decision yourself. No one can decide if it's actually ready or not, aside from you. So, we'll get some clarifications now. Spirit, can you tell me a bit more about the Nine of Pentacles? Why is the Nine of Pentacles here? Sorry, this is cute. The little bird on the Nine of Pentacles is standing out so strong to me. And this to me indicates that you may be a spiritual person, or that you have someone on your spirit team helping you. Oh, I didn't notice this before, but on the Nine of Pentacles, there's this little snail in the corner. So clearly, this is talking about taking things slow and steady and at a gentle pace, which I think that you've already, again, done the work. You've gone past all of that, and now you're at the time where it's like, is this work enough? Is everything that you put into it, like, done? So the cards we have to clarify the Nine of Pentacles are Five of Wands, Nine of Swords, and Four of Swords. When I'm getting like this conflict of thought or conflict of interest, it's weird because like it almost feels like there's too much input from around you, or it's like you've taken on too many people, like of other people's thoughts as your own. With the Five of Wands, I actually see this as other people clouding your thoughts, clouding your mind, and like, how do I say this? It's not even that they have ill intention or that they're trying to distract you. It's that it feels like there's so many other people in your head right now that it's difficult to distinguish your thoughts from their thoughts. So it's weird is that like these two cards, Four of Swords and Nine of Swords, they seem like opposites. This person is waking up from their sleep in like a nightmare, and this person is sleeping peacefully. It's weird because like there's this duality of like you're anxious about how it's going to turn out, but at the same time you're kind of just like at peace and you're willing to let it go, being like it is what it is. Okay, to clarify all of this, or to condense it together, I feel like you're being asked to really think about what your thoughts are on this. Like, there's lots of thoughts racing in your head. Really, really on your own, with your own thoughts, not thinking about anyone else. What do you think is about this? What do you think about the content that you've put forward? Don't think of it from... Okay, so don't think of it from an external person's point of view, whatever it is you're putting. Think of it from yourself at different points in your life. Perhaps a younger version of you, or just like whatever it is you're putting out there into the world. Whatever version of you wanted that thing to exist. Whatever version of you cultivated this. Think about where you started on this journey, and think about if it's good enough for that person, or the person who had this idea. Think about how it's evolved over time, because maybe there's more to this, or you've done more than the previous version of you thought you could do. Maybe, okay, so it's weird, it's like maybe you always knew this was possible, but now at this point, it's like really real. It's like almost there. You can taste it. The inevitability of this thing is coming, and so is all the anxiety that comes with it. Just allowing it to be. So whatever you're creating, it honestly, it kind of feels like the relationship between a parent and a child. Like, eventually the child has to leave the house and then go experience the world. And as the parent, you want to be so protective of it, protective of your child, make sure you shield it from harm, give it a good chance and like a good start at life. Again, eventually though, you're going to have to let go, and you're going to have to let it be or exist or not belong just to you. You're going to have to allow it to be reviewed or seen by other people. And somehow that feels quite scary, but also exciting. With that Four of Swords at the end though, I feel like you might actually be really relieved once you're done this project. Or you can, at the very least, like, surrender control to it, or of it. So let's move forward. Spirit, can you clarify the Page of Swords for us? Why is the Page of Swords here? All right, so we have Judgment, and the Sun, and Two of Swords. You may not see it right now, but the thing that you're putting out there is actually going to be received very positively. With the Page of Swords, I see this as somebody who is on uneven ground or uneven footing because they're trying to figure something out for the first time, or they're trying to, like, I want to see this as somebody who's putting themselves out there, testing the waters, even though it's not certain. They're just applying the techniques they've learned so far. Like, perhaps this is something that they've studied, something that they've thought about, and now is the time for them to act on it properly and to apply what they've learned. So it's the difference between approaching it from an academic perspective and then approaching it from a practical perspective. This may be one of the first times where you're doing it practically, or perhaps this method is new to you. So you're being asked to, again, not overthink it, because there's whatever anxiety you have from it, there's the exact opposite in terms of the good things that could happen from it. The anxiety and the excitement are both technically the same emotion. They're just different ends of the excitement scale. So Judgment here, I actually do see this as something you're putting out there being received by other people. And with the Sun, it feels like a very positive thing. Like, I feel like you're illuminating other people with what you're putting out there into the world. Again, it could be a book, it could be a piece of art, it could be whatever it is, whatever project you're putting out there. It feels very like refreshing, or it feels very like warming. Like it's something people appreciate when they finally receive it. Something that they've been looking for or looking forward to. With the Two of Swords here though, it feels like you might not be aware of it yet, or it's like you don't really understand its impact until it's said and done. You may not even see an immediate result, but it feels like even if you can't directly observe it, it actually does impact other people in a way that your mind can understand. Okay, so the way that I see it is this. Like, let's say you do something good, like you donated a lot of money to a charity, right? And on paper, you can read the effects of what your donation has done, but it's not until you actually see it in person or see pictures or you get feedback from the lives that you've changed that you truly appreciate it. I think that on a cognitive level, you will understand the impact of your work, but the heart space, the physical feeling, the impact of it, it doesn't truly hit you until you sit down and realize like the actual impact of your work, or when people come up to you to talk about it. It feels very like proud and also humbling at the same time, because you know you're not meant to let it get to your head, but to also own it, have a healthy sense of pride regarding the release of this. So, Spirit, can you clarify the Lovers, our last card here? Why did the Lovers show up? The first card we have is the Lovers again. Crazy. The next card we have is Death. And the third card we have is the Three of Swords. The Lovers, clarifying the Lovers, first of all, it feels like such a hyper... This feels like such a hyper focus on what I said earlier about it being up to you and up to you to make that choice. With Death and the Three of Swords here, honestly, there might be a part of you that isn't fully ready for it to exist or to be out there or to be shared. And it's not about letting that part of you in. It's about acknowledging that part of you and then moving forward with it anyways. Okay, Three of Swords, it's telling me like, what will people think of me? Or like, what if what I do isn't good enough? What if what I do looks kind of foolish or whatever? But Death beside it, I feel like you're asked to move forward or cross that threshold regardless of these thoughts or regardless of these feelings. So again, it's up to you to decide when something is enough or good enough for you. And I think intuitively you already know the answers. You already know what actually does need to be changed. And you know when you're overthinking something. Specifically when you let it get into your head space and in your heart space. I especially see that with these cards signified here. Not to mention all of the swords that showed up. There's so much going on in the mental space. But, and I mean this in a positive way, it doesn't truly matter. What matters is how you feel about it going forward, and the fact that it just exists and it just gets to be. Don't let it exist only in your head. Let it exist out there in the world to be cherished or judged by other people too. Don't take the other people's judgments as personal. It's whatever their opinion is. But you, as long as you're happy with it, as long as you're proud of it, then who cares what anyone else thinks? So that's everything that I'm seeing for this reading. If this resonated with you, please leave me a like and a comment. I would love to hear more about it. And if you're interested in a personal reading from me, you can find my email in the description box down below. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.